It's March, everybody, which means it's also March Madness, which seemingly over the last 3 years means Danny Sprinkle is a part of March Madness. If you don't know who Danny Sprinkle is, I'm going to give you a little heads up here, all right? He is the head basketball coach for the Utah State Aggies, okay? He came from the Montana State Bobcats after 2 consecutive years of winning the Big Sky State or winning the Big Sky Conference title, went to the NCAA tournament the past 2 years, and now has his team on the verge of being a conference champion out in the Mountain West in only his first year. But better than that, me and Danny go all the way back to when we were 14 years old. We've known each other, played high school basketball against each other. We spent summers together in Helena and Great Falls, and it's been awesome to see his rise after 19 years, I believe, as an assistant coach to get the opportunity and making the most of it. Let's welcome to the show Utah State head basketball coach Danny Sprinkle.
How you doing, man? Great to see you.
Good to see you too, man.
I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you. I think that, I want to get into some stuff here, but there's been speculation, and you've had a part of the tournament over the last couple years, that there could be some possible expansion all the way up to 96 teams. As a coach, if we did a coach's poll around this, of it expanding to something like that, what are your thoughts around? Is it more the merrier, or is it, hey, we're good where we're at?
I think absolutely not. Don't touch the NCAA tournament. It's so unique, and with 68 teams right now, that's enough. And I think if you water it down by adding more teams, I think it takes away the prestige of some of those teams that make it. I'd leave it exactly how it is. The formula is perfect. I mean, you see how crazy it is around March Madness. And I think if you just start letting more teams in, it just waters it down.
And I think when you're a kid trying to draw out those brackets, you've got to put 96 teams in it. And that gets out of control, man. All right, head coach, your roster this year did not return a player who scored a point from last year.
Yep.
Recruiting versus the transfer portal, the model you put in place to go pay the rent every single day out there in Utah.
Yeah, I mean, we're very fortunate. 2 players, followed us from Montana State. Once they got into the transfer portal, they had all sorts of different schools recruiting, from the Big Ten to the SEC, and we were very fortunate to get them. And then we just kind of pieced it together after that. We got very lucky on a couple guys where they may have gone under recruited, and with the college landscape now with NIL and things like that, like we didn't have a lot, and so we had to kind of sell guys on a dream and how we were going to develop them. And a lot of it was, some very lucky circumstances, and this group has really come together.
Well, you sell yourself short a little bit. You're a heck of a ball coach, clearly, because this team has been great all year long. Huge wins. That place has been rocking. You played in an era, because you're my age, that's different. You and I grew up with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan and all those things. Now the Steph Curry effect on outside shooting over like the last 10 years, how much do you see that when you're out recruiting high school players, and what the landscape looks like for college basketball?
Yeah, that's all you see. When you go, watch AAU or high school, it's all the 5-out spread pretty much. And you have guys shooting a lot of threes, even big guys now. You see it in the NBA. And everybody, that's their ultimate goal. And so that's how they kind of develop their game. And it's hard because we try to still play, even at Montana State and even here this year, like we try to play smash mouth basketball. We try to get to the free throw line and pound it into the paint. And we've been successful doing it because I think a lot of teams aren't used to guarding or playing that way. And it is a little different than probably 80% of the teams. But you still have to have guys that can knock down some shots, no question.
This was an interesting kind of conversation I had with some of the producers this morning around what would it look like for a coach, with the way that this has gone. If there was an interesting move made where you remove the 3-point line completely, or you move it back, and all of a sudden it's going to have to be a different dynamic of where you're shooting the rock. I mean, what would be more interesting, to remove it or to move it back?
I think it'd be more interesting to remove it, because if you move it back, you know how it is as a player.
Guys are just throwing.
You're going to jack up shots from half court.
Caitlin Clark style.
It would be very, very interesting. I bet it would get back to like the old Detroit Piston days where you'd put your 5 defenders just in the paint, and whenever somebody drove, you just put them on the ground.
All right, so this was the bigger question. The guys wanted to know, right? I talk a big game about my basketball prowess growing up in Montana, but I mean, you were a star. You and the Helena High Bengals team, you and Foster and Freeman. Kind of enlighten the Danettes here on my basketball playing abilities.
Danettes, I'll tell you this, he could have played in the Pac-12 basketball wise. No question. And I'm not saying this just because he's here. There's not many guys that are 6'6" that have 45-inch verticals and skill level. Like if you put him in even today's game, it would be scary. He obviously his talent, but he could just jump through the roof. I mean, I'm talking drive down the middle of the lane and 360 in games. And there's not a lot of guys that can even do that nowadays. And so he could shoot it. He could play guard, four, anywhere, and that's just kind of the truth of it. He could play in the
Coach, we've been looking for YouTube videos. We've been looking for Super 8 videos.
There's no YouTube doesn't exist.
We can't find home movies. We're looking for everything. We can't find any proof of this. We trust you.
I have it. I'll get it to you. I'll get it to you. Danny and I played together. We played in this All-Star game leading up to the Helena High prom because I was going to the Helena High prom, right, with my high school girlfriend, Catherine. Who was friends with Danny, and we were playing where were we playing? Billings? It was like, I think we were playing in Billings.
Big Sky Games?
Yeah.
Or what was it?
Yeah, we were playing in Billings, and we just mopped the floor with everybody, and we were going into the championship game, and me and Freeman and Sprink, we went back to Helena for the prom and didn't play in the championship game.
Yeah.
Yeah. We knew what the priorities were.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Girls are definitely the priority. Hey, man, proud of you. There's always a question when anybody has success at the Montana State level, at the Utah State level, Group of Five. Is there, you're probably not thinking about it, but where's your goal? Where do you want to be coaching? For the longest time, I think you just loved coaching so much you were okay with where it was at. But to make the move this last year, is there a different goal down the line that may interest you?
It is. I mean, obviously, when you're at the highest level, like you want to win a national championship. Like that's the ultimate goal. Yeah. Winning a share of the Mountain West Championship the other night was great. And we have a chance tomorrow against New Mexico where we can win the Mountain West outright. That's obviously great getting to the NCAA tournament. But once you get into that NCAA tournament and you see the blue floor and you're walking out on that blue carpet, like there's nothing like it. And the energy, the atmosphere there, like to be able to advance and to someday get to a Final Four and win a championship, like that's what motivates me. And just getting there, it's not good enough. You get a taste of it and you just want to get further. And I think Utah State and I think the Mountain West is like they've shown San Diego State last year had a chance to win the national championship. And so we're in a league and at a place that you can do that.
Well, there you have it. Good luck. Sold that thing up.
Appreciate you, man.
It's good to see you. I need a Utah State hoodie, man. That's my next.
I got you.
All right, I appreciate it. Danny Sprinkle, head basketball coach for the Utah State Aggies. Thanks for joining the Dan Patrick Show. Really appreciate it, buddy.
You bet. Great to see you.
Good to see you too. That's pretty cool to see kids you grew up with, have the success. He was a great basketball player. There was 3 kids really that I looked around the state at and saw were extremely talented. A kid by the name of Trent Hikus, who was right across the street from me at my rival high school in Great Falls, and then Danny at Helena High, and we battled, and it was a lot of fun.